is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. It is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. Let me accept the strength God offers me and see no value in this world, that I may find my freedom and deliverance, that I find my freedom and deliverance. It is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. Watch throughout the day, and if tempted, say, it is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. I seek my freedom and deliverance, and this is not a part of what I want. It is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. It is impossible to see two worlds. The world of pain and suffering, or the world of eternal bliss. You get to make the choice. Thank you for joining me today and studying A Course in Miracles. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace for Lesson 130 for Saturday, May the 10th of 2025. And it's, I think it's Tuesday, the day I'm recording this, prior to that Saturday. It is impossible to see two worlds. Okay, well, let's take a look at our lesson. And I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching forgiveness from the Ozarks. It is impossible to see two worlds. Perception is consistent. What you see reflects your thinking, and your thinking but reflects your choice of what you want to see. Your values are determiners of what you want to see. For what you value, you must want to see, believing what you see is really there. No one can see a world his mind has not accorded value, and no one can fail to look upon what he believes he wants. Yet who can really hate and love at once? Who can desire what he does not want to have reality? And who can choose to see a world of which he is afraid? Fear must make blind, for this its weapon is. That which you fear to see, you cannot see. Love and perception thus go hand in hand, but fear obscures in darkness what is there. What then can fear project upon the world? What can be seen in darkness that is real? Truth is eclipsed by fear, and what remains is but imagined. Yet what can be real in blind imaginings of panic born? What would you want that this is shown to you? What would you wish to keep in such a dream? Fear has made everything you think you see, all separation, all distinctions, and the multitude of differences you believe make up the world. They are not there. Love's enemy has made them up. Yet love can have no enemy, and so they have no cause, no being, and no consequence. They can be valued, but remain unreal. They can be sought, but they cannot be found. Today we will not seek for them, nor waste the day in seeking what cannot be found. It is impossible to see two worlds which have no overlap of any kind. Seek for the one and the other disappears, but one remains. They are the range of choice beyond which your decision cannot go. The real and the unreal are all there are to choose between, and nothing more than these. Today we will attempt no compromise where none is possible. The world you see is proof you have already made a choice, as all-embracing as its opposite. What we would learn today is more than just the lesson that you cannot see two worlds. It also teaches that the one you see is quite consistent from the point of view from which you see it. It is all a piece because it stems from one emotion and reflects its source in everything you see. The one emotion that the world of illusions comes from is fear. And of course, the world of love shows a different world than the one that you see through the eyes of fear, the imaginings. 6 times today, in thanks and gratitude, we gladly give 5 minutes to the thought that ends all compromise and doubt and go beyond them all as one. We will not make 1,000 meaningless distinctions, nor attempt to bring with us a little part of unreality, as we devote our minds to finding only what is real. Begin your searching for the other world by asking for a strength beyond your own and recognizing what it is you seek. You do not want illusions, and you come to these 5 minutes emptying your hands of all the petty treasures of this world. You wait for God to help you as you say, "It is impossible to see two worlds. Let me accept the strength God offers me and see no value in this world, that I may find my freedom and deliverance." God will be there. So those 5-minute times today, 6 times, spread throughout the day, start by saying, "It is impossible to see two worlds. Let me accept the strength God offers me and see no value in this world, that I may find my freedom and deliverance." So you'll be asking for the strength of God today to see what's really there instead of a world of perception based on fear or invulnerability, guilt. We will see the other world that we want to live in. God will be there, for you have called upon the great unfailing power which will take this giant step with you in gratitude, nor will you fail to see His thanks expressed in tangible perception and in truth. You will not doubt what you will look upon, for though it is perception, it is not the kind of seeing that your eyes alone have ever seen before, and you will know God's strength upheld you as you made this choice. Dismiss temptation easily today, whenever it arises, merely by remembering the limits of your choice, the real or the unreal. In other words, the joyful or the sorrowful. If you're going to lose peace by looking at it and seeing it the way you're seeing it, it's a meaningless world and it means nothing. Let it go. Dismiss temptation easily today whenever it arises, merely by remembering the limits of your choice. The unreal or the real, the false or true, is what you see and only what you see. Perception is consistent with your choice, and hell or heaven comes to you as one. Except a little part of hell is real, and you have damned your eyes and cursed your sight, and what you will behold is hell indeed. Oh my. Give yourself a little rein to go in the way of fear, and it just swallows you up. But you always can cry out for help. Yet the release of heaven still remains within your range of choice, to take the place of everything that hell would show to you. And all you need say to any part of hell, whatever form it takes, is simply this: "It is impossible to see two worlds. I seek my freedom and deliverance, and this is not a part of what I want." Say that next time you see something that seems to be terrifying. Say, "It is impossible to see two worlds. I seek my freedom and deliverance, and this is not a part of what I want." Wow, that should bring you back to reality if you do that. Okay, let's go take a look in our text reading. We're ready for chapter 14, the teaching for truth. Roman numeral 10, the equality of miracles. When no perception stands between God and his creations or between his children and their own, the knowledge of creation must continue forever. The reflections you accept into the mirror of your mind in time but bring eternity nearer or farther. But eternity itself is beyond all time. Reach out of time and touch it with the help of its reflection in you, and you will turn from time to holiness as surely as the reflection of holiness calls everyone to lay all guilt aside. Reflect the peace of heaven here and bring this world to heaven, for the reflection of truth draws everyone to truth, and as they enter into it, they leave all reflections behind. 2. In heaven, reality is shared and not reflected. By sharing its reflection here, its truth becomes the only perception the Son of God accepts, and thus remembrance of his Father dawns on him, and he can no longer be satisfied with anything but his own reality. You on earth have no conception of limitlessness, for the world you seem to live in is a world of limits. In this world, it is not true that anything without order of difficulty cannot occur. In this world, it is not true that anything without order of difficulty can occur. The miracle, therefore, has a unique function and is motivated by a unique teacher, Holy Spirit, who brings the laws of another world to this one. The miracle is the one thing you can do that transcends order, being based not on differences, but on equality. 3. Miracles are not in competition, and the number of them that you can do is limitless. They can be simultaneous or legion. They can be simultaneous and legion. This is not difficult to understand once you conceive of them as possible at all. What is more difficult to grasp is the lack of order of difficulty that stamps the miracle as something that must come from elsewhere, not from here. From the world's viewpoint, this is impossible. Perhaps you have been aware of lack of competition among your thoughts, which even though they may conflict, can occur together and in great numbers. You may indeed be so used to this that it causes you little surprise. Yet you are also used to classifying some of your thoughts as more important, larger or better, wiser or more productive and valuable than the others. This is true of the thoughts that cross the mind of those who think they live apart. For some are reflections of heaven, while others are motivated by the ego, which but seems to think. The ego, but what seems to think. 5. The result is a weaving, changing pattern that never rests and is never still. It shifts unceasingly across the mirror of your mind, and the reflections of heaven last but a moment and grow dim as darkness blots them out. Where there was light, darkness removes it an instant, and alternating patterns of light and darkness sweep across your mind. The little sanity that still remains is held together by a sense of order that you establish. Yet the very fact that you can do this and bring any order into chaos shows you that you are not an ego, and that more than an ego must be in you. For the ego is chaos, and if it were all of you, no order at all would be possible. Yet though the order you impose upon your mind limits the ego, it also limits you. To order is to judge, and to arrange by judgment. Therefore it is not your function, but the Holy Spirit's. To order things is the Holy Spirit's function, not our own. Always ask for help. Paragraph 6. It will seem difficult for you to learn that you have no basis at all for ordering your thoughts. This lesson the Holy Spirit teaches by giving you the shining examples of miracles to show you that your way of ordering is wrong, but that a better way is offered you. The miracle offers exactly the same response to every call for help. It does not judge the call. It merely recognizes what it is and answers accordingly. It does not consider which call is louder or greater or more important. You may wonder how you who are still bound to judgment can ask to do that which requires no judgment of your own. The answer is very simple. The power of God, and not of you, engenders miracles. The miracle itself is but the witness that you have the power of God in you. That is the reason why the miracle gives equal blessing to all who share in it, and that is also why everyone shares in it. The power of God is limitless, and being always maximal, it offers everything to every call from anyone. There is no order of difficulty here. A call for help is given help. The miracle that you're relying on is that which is beyond your own understanding. And that's what we want to get really good at recognizing, that miracles are in a realm above the ego's logic and the thinking mind. So we just give it over to the Holy Spirit to work out time and space and our own awareness so that they all come up perfectly, and miracles are flower all around us, like that multiflora rose behind me. Paragraph 7. The only judgment involved in the Holy Spirit's one division into two categories, one of love and the other the call for love, you cannot safely make this division. For you are much too confused either to recognize love or to believe that everything else is nothing but a call for love. You are too bound to form and not to content. What you consider content is not content at all. It is merely form and nothing else. For you do not respond to what a brother really offers you, but only to the particular perception of his offering by which the ego judges it. So in that paragraph, we realize that there's only two things happening all the time. You're either offering love, and your brother's offering you love, so that we're either offering love or we're asking for love. And that's what we need to get quick at seeing beyond the form. It may be the form of anger, but deeper down, it's the acknowledgement that you're feeling unloved. Paragraph 8. The ego is incapable of understanding content, and it is totally unconcerned with it. To the ego, if the form is acceptable, the content must be. Otherwise, it will attack the form. If you believe you understand something of the dynamics of the ego, let me assure you that you understand nothing of it. For of yourself you could not understand it. Oh, and the word dynamics a while ago was in quotes because even though it seems to be an active thing, it's really an illusion. There's no dynamics of the ego. The study of the ego is not the study of the mind. In fact, the ego enjoys studying itself and thoroughly approves the undertaking of students who would, in quotes, analyze it, thus approving its importance. Yet they but study form with meaningless content. For their teacher is senseless, though careful to conceal this fact behind impressive-sounding words, but which lack any consistent sense when they are put together. Paragraph 9. This is characteristic of the ego's judgments. Separately, they seem to hold, but put them together, and the system of thought that arises from joining them is incoherent and utterly chaotic. For form is not enough for meaning. Let's read that again. This is characteristic of the ego's judgment. Separately, they seem to hold, but put them together, and the system of thought that arises from joining them is incoherent and utterly chaotic. For form is not enough for meaning, and the underlying lack of content makes a cohesive system impossible. Separation, therefore, remains the ego's chosen condition, for no one alone can judge the ego truly. Yet when two or more join together in searching for truth, the ego can no longer defend its lack of content. The fact of union tells them it is not true. Paragraph 10. It is impossible to remember God in secret and alone. For remembering Him means you are not alone and are willing to remember it. Take no thought for yourself, for no thought you hold is for yourself. That reminds me of take no thought for yourself in Matthew chapter 6, verse 25 through 34. Jesus said, take no thought for your life, what you should wear and what you should eat. God takes care of you. Take no thought for your needs, for God's got you covered, basically is the idea. Anyway, you can look it up if you'd like to. Take no thought for yourself, for no thought you hold is for yourself. If you would remember your Father, let the Holy Spirit order your thoughts and give only the answer with which He answers you. Everyone seeks for love as you do, but knows it not unless he joins with you in seeking it. If you undertake the search together, you bring with you a light so powerful that what you see is given meaning. The lonely journey fails because it has excluded what it would find. Everyone. You got to see yourself and your brothers. We're going together. 11. As God communicates to the Holy Spirit in you, so does the Holy Spirit translate His communications through you, so you can understand them. God has no secret communications, for everything of Him is perfectly open and freely accessible to all, being for all. Nothing lives in secret, and what you would hide from the Holy Spirit is nothing. Holy, or every interpretation you would lay upon a brother is senseless. Let the Holy Spirit show him to you and teach you both His love and His call for love. Neither His mind nor yours holds more than these two orders of thought. Your mind or your brother's mind can hold this order of thought, that you're either loving or appealing for love. Either way, you either answer the love or you give love, but it's given love either way. And he says here, every interpretation you would lay upon a brother is senseless. Let's quit judging them, quit interpreting. Let's just let them be who they are. Let's not have an opinion about what their choices are. Let's just let God show us how to see them. Look beyond the form to the content. The last paragraph, 12. The miracle is the recognition that this is true. Where there is love, your brother must give it to you because of what it is. But where there is a call for love, you must give it because of what you are. Earlier I said this course will teach you how to remember what you are, restoring to you your identity. We've already learned that this identity is shared. The miracle becomes the means of sharing it. By supplying your identity, wherever it is not recognized, you will recognize it. And God Himself, who wills to be with His Son forever, will bless each recognition of His Son with all the love He holds for Him. Nor will the power of all His love be absent from any miracle you offer to His Son. How then can there be any order of difficulty among them? So what we learned from that, just a couple recaps I want to bring your attention to, is that we want to rely on the Holy Spirit to show us how to perceive, how to understand, not judging our brothers and sisters, instead recognizing that the only thing that's real is love. And we're going to either see it as us loving or our brother loving, or ourself appealing for love, or our brother appealing for love. That's what we want to learn to see. Okay? Okay, let's see. It is impossible to see two worlds. I seek my freedom and deliverance, and this is not a part of what I want. Say that if something comes to tempt you today. Okay, let's see. What all do we have going on around the world today? No major religious holidays that I could find. It's Malcolm X Day, though. Plant Something Day. I got a bunch of green beans that came up from the green beans from last year, the ones that fell on the ground. And I'm going to transplant them around a trellis I made of bamboo. I made like a bamboo teepee, and I'm going to have them grow up it. Supply Chain Professionals Day, May Ray Day. Celebrate the sun. Got a cloudy day for me today. Boys Club Day and Accounting Day. And then we, out of edible landscaping, we got the delicious Muscadine grape. It was, one of them it said was a good mate for the sugar gate, along with Carlos and Isons. It says of the delicious Muscadine grape, Delicious is a new Muscadine grape cultivar released by the University of Florida that is black-fruited, early and even ripening, high-yielding, and disease-resistant. It is excellent. It has excellent taste and texture with an edible thin skin, making it well-suited for fresh fruit consumption. It also has potential for wine production. Self-fertile, spaced 15 feet apart on trellis, zones 7 through 9. And do we have enough time? Just real briefly, let me tell you. I've been thinking about these multiflora roses and just roses as hedges. And I think we've kind of come into a place in our world where we need more. I hate to say, I used to like, and I still do like, the wide open prairie look and life. But there's so many people, we need to have some control over just where we live and a little buffer from just everyone. And I think rose hedges would be perfect. They have the thorns to keep deer out, keep people out, keep horses out. But they're offering a lot of fragrance and beauty for the pollinators and for our noses. So I think rose hedges are something that deserve a look. And I found the best roses for hedges by Ruth Hayes on Homes and Gardens. And it's and just a real quick, Rosa Gertruda Jekyll, Rosa Lady Shallot, Gallica rose varieties, Rosa the Lark Ascending, Rosa Lady Banks, Polyantha rose varieties like Cecil Broner, Real or Peeled Dior, Alba roses like the Alba Marima, the Queen of Denmark and Amelia, the Rosa Molinox, the Chinese rose varieties like Old Blush, and Rosa Foetida bicolor. Anyway, that was some she mentioned that would be good for hedges. They all stand about anywhere from 3 to 5 feet tall. 3 would be a little short, I think, for a hedge, but anything you can get up to, if you get 5 foot, that'd be great, even 6 foot. I think you could probably do that. This one here reaches about 8 foot up there. Oh, you'd have to have a trellis, though. Remember that, I would expect. Now, some varieties self-supporting. Okay, well, let's close with our song, and be sure when you start your 5-minute practice periods today, you start each one with this statement. Let me accept the strength God offers me and see no value in this world and find my freedom and deliverance. It is impossible to see 2 worlds. It is impossible. It is impossible to see 2 worlds. It is impossible. Let me accept the strength. Let me accept the strength God offers me and see no value in this world, that I may find my freedom and deliverance. It is impossible to see 2 worlds. It is impossible. All I need to say to any part of hell is simply this. It is impossible to see 2 worlds. It is impossible. I seek my freedom and deliverance, and this is not a part of what I want. It is impossible to see 2 worlds. It is impossible. And our word from peace is from the Philippines, and it's Diakatra. Diakatra. It is impossible to see two worlds. Diakatra.